All right, 90 days later. Now it's time for an update on Disney Plus. The hype last year was real and it was big. And when it finally came out on November 12th and we were all finally introduced to Baby Yoda, so cute, the world let out a collective sigh of relief. Oh, finally, I can get an IV drip of Disney straight into my veins. Well, now we're 90 days into it, like I said, this new era of good feelings. And the honeymoon, the doe-eyed, rose-colored glasses phase, is coming to a close. And now we can look at Disney Plus with a little more critical eye. So, how's it holding up? Well, pretty freaking well, actually. Now, I'm not going to review Disney Plus today because, well, it hasn't really changed much in its first 3 months. And you can still check out the original review that we did right there. So yeah, they had some technical issues on day one, but honestly, that's probably just because of how many people signed up for it on day one. That was about 10 million people. Things have looked better for the app since then, so tech-wise, things should be smooth sailing from here on out. Today, instead, what we're gonna do is have a look at where Disney Plus is at with its subscriber count, how it's fitting into the streaming landscape generally, and whether it's keeping the promise it made to be the must-have streaming service on the block. So, let's dive in. So thanks for joining us today. Don't forget, if you appreciate what we do here on Reviews.org, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like if it turns out to be helpful for you. So let's talk about Disney Plus. Analysts were expecting Disney Plus to hit 20 million subscribers by the end of 2019. Now, I've been saying for a while that all those analysts, including Disney's own, have been lowballing those subscriber estimates big time. And as always, I was right. Look, I'm not sorry about it. 28.6 million subscribers in its first 3 months. That's what Disney Plus announced last week. So by the time this video gets out to you, let's just call it 29 million subscribers. So how does that do compared to its competitors? Well, they've got a ways to go still to catch Netflix, which ended 2019 with more than 167 million subscribers. So yeah, like I said, they got a ways to go. On the other end of the spectrum, they're actually doing really well compared to some other pretty popular services. HBO Now, for instance, has 8 million subscribers. Another competitor would be Apple TV Plus, and I guess they kind of go in the same sentence because they came out around the same time, although they are very different streaming services. But Apple TV Plus, which I'm on record as saying has some great shows, they won't even report their numbers for that service. So that could be nothing, or it could be an indication that numbers there are weak. So Disney, they are reporting those numbers and we know that they are doing really well. And Disney expects massive growth driven through their international subscribers coming up. So it'll be released in the UK and much of Europe on March 24th, and to some other European and Latin American countries later in 2020 and 2021. So yeah, they'll pick up some pretty major subscriber counts just by doing that. But they also expect a bump this fall when they release new Marvel and Lucasfilm shows. So we've got coming up in August, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. WandaVision comes up in December. We're getting a new Mandalorian season in October. And then there's the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which actually has been put on hold for now because the script written by the screenwriters behind Drive and The Mandalorian didn't meet the exacting standards of Kathleen Kennedy.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
But that kind of gets us to what I see as the thing holding Disney Plus back. Wait, what? They got almost 30 million subscribers in 3 months and I'm saying that they're held back? Well, sort of, yeah. This is the thing I've been talking about for a little while now. They need to concentrate on their original content. They've got a lot of vault content and that's great. They opened up the vault and here we are with all these subscribers. But if we want to talk about the state of Disney Plus currently, that actually gets us to the thing to take note of: the lack of compelling original content. Yes, I said it. It's not that there's none there, but besides The Mandalorian, is there anything that's really gotten people talking? I mean, the Jeff Goldblum thing got some chatter for a few days at the beginning, but that died down pretty quickly. And other than that, not much. It's all more about what's coming up later. So all this chatter, this talk of the chatter, it will change as we move through 2020 and into 2021, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've already mentioned Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Mandalorian Season 2, and then in the next 18 months, give or take, we've already got, or will get, Loki, Hawkeye, Marvel's What If, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, believe it or not, Miss Marvel, Kenobi, fingers crossed, the Cassian Andor Variety Hour, or whatever that's going to be called, Muppets Now, Diary of a Female President, and many more titles. Now, look, the vault is the vault, like I said, and if you were really excited to finally get access to Johnny Tsunami, you already signed up.
Say the word.
See you at the bottom, loser.
But if they want to pick up more subscribers, if they really want to catch up to Netflix, yeah, they're gonna have to get into this arms race for original content. And luckily it is a snowball effect, just like what Netflix is going for. So with all these original shows, you may not care about most of them, most of those original shows that I talked about, but you will care about some of them. So hopefully for Disney's sake, it's enough to keep you around for season 2 of whatever, or the show that's coming up next month. Maybe they'll dangle Kenobi in front of us for years.
I have a bad feeling about this.
So bottom line here, has Disney kept up its end of the bargain with Disney Plus in its first 90 days? Well, just based on the 50 million Elvis fans can't be wrong argument, we'd have to say, yeah, they have. If they weren't, they wouldn't be exceeding their subscriber count projections. But if Disney Plus wants to continue to exceed those expectations, it doesn't have any more vaults to throw open, so it is going to have to count on the new original content to do that. So far so good, The Mandalorian is great, but we'll have to see a lot more Mandalorian level quality stuff in the not too distant future to keep the momentum that they have going. So what are you most excited for on Disney's upcoming slate? Is it Marvel stuff, Star Wars stuff? Is it the new Lizzie McGuire reboot? Be honest. Hit the comments, let me know. Thanks for spending your time with us here on Reviews.org. We do appreciate it and hope that it's good enough for you to hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like. Thanks everybody.